Welcome to Drunk Bible Study. This show's mission is to read every single word of the greatest story ever told. A warning to our listeners, the hosts of this show are sinners, but they're doing their best. There will be drinking and there may be some swears. They did say they'd try to keep it clean, but I wouldn't put my money on it.
I'm Emily, and this is Drunk Bible Study, where my good friends Dedeker and Jace teach me, a born and raised atheist, all about the Bible. So Jason, Dedeker, it is festive. We are festive. Look at y'all. We had some nice...
Festive as freak right now.
Yeah, we had some... Can't swear on the show, so we had some beautiful festive music before the show started. It was a lovely thing. So how are we doing today? How are you doing, Dedeker?
I'm great. I just did my last day of work, my last, formal day of work.
Well done.
And it doesn't quite feel real yet, but I do think that sitting and drinking and reading the Bible will help me to absorb the realization that 'tis the season for chilling out.
Heck yes.
Yeah, that's great. I'm not quite on my vacation yet when we're recording this, although I guess by the time this episode comes out, I will almost be to my last day of work of the year. So, still things to look forward to.
Yeah, this is our second to last episode of the year, sadly, but that also means that we're almost through Kings, which is maybe a good thing. Maybe we're excited about that.
Penultimate episode of Kings today.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's very exciting. Wow.
Speaking of which, Emily, do you remember anything that happened last week? After we had 2 weeks off before that, and it was really hard to remember.
Boy,
there was there was drama, there was action last week.
There was.
Yeah, I'm seeing something. The Assyrians bluffing, don't speak in Hebrew, the upper pool, highway of the
Emily,
forest
okay,
fields.
Emily just goes and reads all our notes for the bonus episode, and it sounds like some sort of really odd beat poetry.
No, yeah,
or maybe more like a Nostradamus prediction.
The Assyrians bluffing, don't speak in Hebrew. Yeah,
it's just like a freaking cue drop over here.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea what happened. I don't know. There were a bunch of kings, probably, or did we focus on one?
Pretty much just one king, actually. Yeah. Yeah.
Was it Hezekiah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it that guy?
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
That guy. Cool.
Yeah, and the Assyrians rolled up and were trying to tell them Yahweh's not with you; He's with us.
Right.
So
remember, Rob Schneider came up.
Rob Schneider
tried to intimidate them into giving up, I guess. But they said no. And
heck no.
And then do you remember what happened after they said heck no? And he went. So then Hezekiah went and prayed to Yahweh about it.
Uh-huh.
And then do you remember what happened? The big dramatic Yahweh move?
Bunch of people died.
Yes, I mean, you could have just guessed that for any chapter, though.
Yeah, I did guess that.
It's kind of his favorite move.
Exactly. Yeah. Wait, what happened? I forget. People died, probably.
They, woke up the next day, and the entire camp of all the Assyrians were dead. Hundreds of thousands of dead bodies in the camp. Yeah.
Terrible. Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. Pretty exciting that Yahweh...
And we had the debut of Isiah.
Right.
Was that last week?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, and we cast Isiah also.
Right. It's Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Oh, yeah. Yes, Lin-Manuel.
Very exciting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that'll be great.
I'm excited about that. And because you said that he's going to be in Chronicles of Narnia?
I don't know.
Book 1 and 2? No?
You should know. I mean, as soon as we finish out this year, we're going to have to spend some time looking over the actual Book of Chronicles that's coming next and determining, is it too boring to podcast? Is there a more fun way to podcast?
No.
We said, we said that we are doing every single word of the Bible.
Yeah.
Every single word.
Let me rephrase. Do we change the order? Because there's been discussion of that, of talking about following more of the traditional Jewish order as opposed to the more modern order of books. We got things to talk about.
Okay, yes, perhaps. I think the bigger thing we have to talk about for next year is what we're going to do about Psalms and Proverbs. specifically Psalms. That's the one I could see we maybe sprinkle throughout episodes rather than doing all at once, because it's just a lot of poems. And it would be, like, no joke, it would be like 3.5 months of just every week reading poems, basically.
We got through the
there's
book of
the
Job.
beat poetry.
Yes,
Yeah.
but 3.5 months of the World English Bible's version of that poetry.
Okay, touche. Fine. All right.
Boy.
Well, let's talk about what we're drinking, because that's always the most important part, right?
Exactly.
What are you drinking?
Yeah, in my very festive mug here, I have a nice hot toddy.
Your fave.
With a real cinnamon stick and everything. And it just felt like a nice transition into good seasonal seasons of drinking.
Love.
Seasons
Drinking
of love.
love.
Yeah.
Love,
Good.
yes.
Yeah.
Good.
Beautiful.
Wow,
Okay.
it's funny, I didn't realize that, but I also went with a hot drink option for mine.
Oh, wow.
I did a boozy hot chocolate with marshmallows in it.
Look at that.
Luxurious.
Yeah,
Very
so this
luxurious.
is hot chocolate with Kahlua and Bailey's, both.
Whoa,
And it's
doubling
Just
up.
delicious.
Going nuts there.
Just
wow.
hot wild.
Yeah.
Goodness. That's
Okay,
exciting.
Emily, you said your festivities would be in drink form. Let's see.
Yes, it's not a hot drink, but earlier today I made some rosemary simple syrup. Rosemary infused simple syrup, although
Wow.
I used unfortunately coconut sugar, which made the simple syrup really dark, so it changed the color of this drink, but it's like a cranberry festive drink. There's some rosemary and cranberry on there. You're supposed to like dip the cranberries and the rosemary in the simple syrup and then dip that into sugar so that it looks like the rosemary and the
snow-covered.
cranberries have a little
Frosty.
snow on them.
That's
It's so
Cute.
cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
And what's
Very
actually in it?
clever.
Exactly. It's a so rosemary simple syrup and then tequila and muddled cranberries. And just a little bit of lime. So it's kind of like a cranberry margarita. It's delightful.
Nice. That sounds great. Gosh, Emily.
Highly recommend.
Getting increasingly more jealous.
Well, I'll publish eventually this Drunk Bible Study book of
Please
fun
do.
eventually.
Yeah.
And throw it on the Facebook group. Because we all need to have some festive times, for sure.
Speaking of festive times, let's have a reading. Or reading times is
Is
what I
it
mean
the
by
reading
festive
times? This is
yes.
the reading times.
It is the reading time. It has
Great.
come. All right, let's do this.
All right, today we are continuing on with 2 Kings chapters 20 through 22. If you want to read along with us, you can go to drunkbiblestudy.com/read and type in 2 Kings 20-22. As we get started, we want to remind everyone to read responsibly and drink responsibly.
You can drink along with us, or you can listen while you're in the car.
But please do not do both at the same time.
And with that, 2 Kings chapter 20. In those days, was Hezekiah sick to death?
Oh, no.
Yeah, we've come to the end of his run.
Yeah.
Wow. He only got
Isaiah-
like one full episode to reign, and then we're going to kick him off.
Well, it's a lot better than some of these kings have gotten.
It's true.
Very true.
Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amoz, came to him and said to him, "Thus says Yahweh, set your house in order, for you shall die and not live." That's what
Thank
dying
you.
is.
Thank you, Isaiah, for the clarification.
And this is Lin-Manuel Miranda just showed up to be like, hey,
Yes.
so you're dying
You're gonna
and
die and
you're
not
not
live."
gonna live. Yeah.
Sucks to be you.
Then he turned his face to the wall and prayed to Yahweh, saying, "Remember now, Yahweh, I beg you, how I have walked before you in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in your sight." Hezekiah wept sore. Oh, yeah, dying's a hard thing.
He wept sore.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
It happened before Isaiah was gone out into the middle part of the city that the word of Yahweh came to him, saying, "Turn back and tell Hezekiah, the prince of my people, thus says Yahweh, the God of David your father, I have heard your prayer. I have seen your tears. Behold, I will heal you. On the third
What?
day you shall go up to the house of Yahweh." So
What?
Wait.
He was like, wait, just kidding?
Okay, that's nice for him.
Here's what I think happened. I think that Isaiah prophesied, Yahweh says you're going to die. Hezekiah was sad about it. Turns out it was a fluke. He actually healed. And then someone wrote in, oh yeah, when Isaiah was leaving, actually Yahweh told him, hey, what? It's my
You're a
conspiracy
skeptic.
brain.
This is-
I'm
yeah,
a
I
skeptic.
know.
I'm trying to connect the
skeptic
dots
now.
and make it make sense. I need to make it make sense.
Okay.
Dedeker, I mean, do you also read Lord of the Rings and go, you know what? I actually think he did kill off Gandalf and then later realized he still needed him. And so he went back and wrote a different story that like...
No, but the last time I read Lord of the Rings, which was this year, thank you very much, I did look at it with a more critical eye. So
I come to you now at the
put
turn of the tide.
put that in your big old hobbity pipe and smoke it.
Okay.
I watched all of those movies this year. The amount of media that I have consumed, and also I watched all of The Hobbit and all of Lord of the Rings, and we watched the extended version of all of them.
Oh, I did that this year too.
Really?
That's a
Well,
thing,
there
I
you
guess.
go. Yeah, it is a thing.
Wow, I only did it with
Okay.
The Hobbit,
Films.
not with The Lord of the Rings as well.
Oh, it's so good with the Lord of the Rings. Wow, love it.
Okay. So, all right. So Yahweh's like, actually, just kidding. Hezekiah is
JK.
weeping, and I feel bad now. So go tell him that actually I'm going to heal him.
These people, like a lot of other people, haven't wept at maybe dying at the hand of Yahweh. And I guess he likes Hezekiah. Okay.
Yeah.
Hezekiah's been cool.
Okay. And on the third day, you shall go up to the house of Yahweh. I will add to your days 15 years, and I will deliver you and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria. And I will defend this city for my own sake and for my servant David's sake. All right. So Yahweh said it.
Obsession with David, I swear. Because David wanted it.
Isaiah said, take a cake of figs.
Have a fig Newton. You're going to live.
Have a celebratory Newton.
Congratulations.
Good job, man.
Oh, boy. Sorry, just the image of Lin-Manuel Miranda handing over a fig Newton as a
good.
celebratory prize is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
They took and laid it on the boil. Oh, okay, he has a boil?
He's
He's got a boil. A boil, like on his skin.
Must be part of the sickness that he has.
That's part of the sickness.
Yeah.
It just says the boil, singular.
Maybe he only had one.
Just one real bad one that maybe got infected and gave him a fever and they thought it was bad. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the, negative 2000s or whatever.
Yeah, it's the negative 2000s, where our best medical
Where are we?
technology is to put a fig Newton on a boil.
We're like negative 800-ish right now.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
But you know what? It would be a lot easier if we did our years instead of the whole BC AD thing. If we just did negative and positive numbers, because it would be easier to conceptualize that, negative 100 is after negative 200, whereas like 100 BC and 200 BC, I always get confused about which direction time is going.
Me too.
Me too.
What direction? What direction is time
Seriously.
going?
Okay, I'm going to bring us back. Isaiah
Please.
said, take a cake of figs. They took and laid it on the boil, and he recovered.
Sweet.
Great.
Now, this is interesting
Indeed.
because, Yahweh didn't give him these instructions to put a fig Newton
He
on
probably
there.
put it in Isaiah's head, and Isaiah was like, got it, God.
Got it. I'll do it.
No
Okay.
problem.
I'm going to write this down, though, because I'm curious of, if there's any evidence of fig Newtons or cakes of figs in some format have been used in the ancient world to heal boils, or maybe this was a super common thing, or maybe this became a super common thing after this.
After Hezekiah, everyone was putting fig
Yeah.
Newtons on their boils. Yeah.
For sure.
Hezekiah said to Isaiah, what shall be the sign that Yahweh will heal me, and that I shall go up to the house of Yahweh the third day? Isaiah said, didn't I just put a fig Newton on your boil and it worked?
Okay, so the message here says kind of what you were asking, Dedeker, which is Hezekiah said to Isaiah, how do I know whether this is of God and not just the fig Newton? What confirming sign is there that God is healing me and that in 3
Not
days
just
I'll walk
fig
into the
Newton.
temple?
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's what he's clarifying.
Yeah.
We want to know too.
Yeah.
Isaiah said, this shall be the sign to you from Yahweh. that Yahweh will do the thing that he has spoken. Shall the shadow go forward 10 steps or go back 10 steps?
What?
Hezekiah answered, It is a light thing for the shadow to decline 10 steps. Nay, but let the shadow return backward 10 steps.
Now, okay,
He's not
first
talking
of all,
about time, right? Is he talking about like a sundial?
Oh, boy.
About time going
seems-
backwards, and this is why Jace is so confused about the direction of time?
right.
Yes.
It's furthering my confusion. Yes, it does seem to be that, but also I did like his little play on words. He's like, the shadow is light work. Get it? Because the light.
Oh, because it's a light thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clever.
Thanks.
It's real. It's pretty
Cool.
freaking funny.
Yeah. I didn't write it. The World English Bible did.
Yeah, this person did.
Okay, but it's weird that Isaiah posed him the option. He's like,
I'm assuming this
So
is some
what-
kind of
what's gonna be the
rhetorical
sign?
question that we don't understand.
it's got to be rhetorical. Okay, yes, you're right. And then Hezekiah is like, okay, yeah, let time run backwards for however long it takes to run backwards for 10 steps.
Okay.
10 hours, 10 minutes, who knows? Isaiah the prophet cried to Yahweh, and he brought the shadow 10 steps backward, by which it had gone down on the dial of Ahaz. Okay,
Okay,
yes.
sundial.
Dial,
Got it.
sundial, great.
Great.
Cool.
At that time, Baradak Baladan, Baradak Baladan,
Pharaoh?
the son of Baladan,
Okay.
king of Babylon,
That's a lot of bees.
sent letters and a present to Hezekiah.
Oh,
for
how
he had heard
nice.
that Hezekiah had been sick. Oh, that's cute.
The message translates
Get well
that.
soon present.
a little helium balloon.
The message translates this as having heard that the king was sick, sent a get well card and a gift. to Hezekiah.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry,
Eugene.
what?
Eugene,
no,
come on now.
no, he didn't. No, he didn't. He went to the like biblical Hallmark and like got his biblical Hallmark card
Oh yeah.
saying "Get well soon." We want you to get well. Okay.
Boy. Okay. Hezekiah listened to them and shown them all the house of his precious things, the silver and the gold and the spices and the precious oil and the house of his armor and all that was found in his treasures.
Look
There
at
was
all my
nothing-
cool shit.
There was nothing in his house nor in all his dominion that Hezekiah didn't show them. Just showing, not giving, not offering.
Yeah, just give it a tour, like a museum
let me
tour.
take you on this show and
Yeah.
tell tour.
Okay.
I don't know who them is. Is it the
Yeah,
Babylonians?
exactly.
Maybe it's the Babylonian
No, it's-
emissary
yeah,
who's
the
delivering the get
messengers.
well card. It just says he sent letters and a present, and then it says Hezekiah listened to them. It's just it doesn't
Like who
imply-
they? Who are they?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Then came Isaiah the prophet to King Hezekiah and said to him, "What said these men, and from whence came they to you?" Maybe Isaiah's a little jealous.
Oh yeah. It's like you didn't give me a
Manuel,
tour
calm
after
down.
I saved your life with a fig.
Hezekiah
Well,
said,
"You didn't give me a card."
Or this cool helium balloon shaped like a heart.
Hezekiah said, "They are come from a far country, even from Babylon." He said, I think this is Isaiah, "What have they seen in your house?"
The whole thing.
Hezekiah answered, "All that is in my house have they seen. There is nothing among my treasures that I have not shown them." Oh boy.
Is this going to be another one of those like why'd you shoot the arrow into the ground 3 times?
think
You
it
should have done
is.
it 20
I
times.
think it
Probably,
is.
I'm
Okay.
sure.
Idiot. Isaiah said to Hezekiah, "Hear the word of Yahweh.
Oh no.
Behold, the days come that all that is in your house and that which your fathers have laid up in store to this day shall be carried to Babylon. Nothing shall be left, says Yahweh." That's what happens when you let people case the joint.
Wait, but they just looked at it.
Case
They
the
cased
joint.
it, yeah.
They cased it.
So he's
Checking out
gonna
the
live
security
15 more
systems.
years, but like be a poor man.
Well,
mean-
it's not clear when this is going to happen. Like, he's just
Okay.
prophesying that the Babylonians are going to get all this stuff eventually.
Right. Now, it would be totally sweet if we later had sort of like a Mission Impossible style, them breaking in and stealing
Bum,
it,
bum,
like dodging
bum,
over the
bum,
lasers
bum,
and all that
bum,
stuff.
bum.
Be good cinema.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll put that in our film.
You're right.
Okay,
Yeah,
I
we'll
think-
put that in ours for sure.
It's fine. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're going to get more information about the timeline of this.
Okay.
Of your sons who shall issue from you, whom you shall father, shall they take away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon.
So they're also going to steal your sons and make them eunuchs. Okay.
Yikes.
Cool.
Then said Hezekiah to Isaiah, "Good is the word of Yahweh which you have spoken." Really? Really?
He's like,
you're okay with that?
I'm fine with it.
Maybe he's just like, "Oh, my son's not me. Oh, phew. Okay, gosh. Oh, thank God."
I've only got 15 more years anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, moreover, "Isn't it so if peace and truth shall be in my days?" Yeah, it's true. He is like, you know what? I don't have to deal with it. Somebody else's problem.
Sounds fine.
It's true.
Now, the rest of the acts of Hezekiah and all his might and how he made the pool and the conduit and brought water into the city, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah?
No, they aren't, and I want to hear that story.
About the pool and the conduit?
I do want to hear about the pool and the conduit.
Seems like a very important public works project.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We're just kind of glossing over here. Hezekiah slept with his fathers, and Manasseh, his son, reigned in his place.
Wait, we just
Manasseh.
jumped 15 years.
Yeah, but, in that time, he made the pool and the conduit and brought water into the city.
Yeah.
Okay.
But don't worry. Isn't that written down in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah?
Wow. Okay.
Okay, maybe in the bonus episode, we try to look up Hezekiah's pool and conduit.
Cool.
Yeah.
It'll be totally boring. It'll just be like, yeah, he figured out an
He made
aqueduct.
it.
I'm assuming it's an aqueduct. It's got to be what
Something
that is,
like
right?
that.
Okay. Something like that. Okay, it is time to go refill our drinks. But first, we want to ask for your support to keep this show going and available for everyone, and these live shows as well. We hope you can come to them again.
All right, chapter 21. Manasseh, Mark 5 or wherever we are on Manasseh's, was 12 years old when he began to reign, and he was not a eunuch. No, and he reigned 50.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming, right?
I totally believe that.
I believed it too, yeah.
Sorry.
If we have to clarify you're going to die and not live, it makes sense that we have to clarify he's not a eunuch.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm assuming he wasn't because he was reigning and he was 12 and whatever. I don't know. Wow, he reigned 55 years in Jerusalem.
Oh,
wow.
And his mother's name was Hephzibah. Ziba.
Nailed it.
He did that. He did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh.
Oh, God.
Drank.
Yeah, we got spoiled
yes.
by Hezekiah being such a good boy.
Seriously, goodness, why didn't he teach him the ways? After the
Too busy with the pool and the conduit.
I know, he was doing other things.
And having boils.
That's true as
Maybe
well.
he was like, I know my kids are going to end up eunuchs in Babylon anyway, so why bother?
Exactly.
I don't need to father these children. He did that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh after the abominations of the nations, whom
Love that
Yahweh
phrase.
cast out. I know, it's great. Whom Yahweh cast out before the children of Israel. For he built again the high places which Hezekiah his father had destroyed, and he reared up altars for Baal, and he made an Asherah, and he did Ahab king of Israel, or as did Ahab king of Israel, and worshipped all the host of the sky and served them.
Okay.
He was like, yo, sky people, yeah.
The message here
Want
has
to believe. Yes.
a delightful treat for us. And it says, he rebuilt all the sex and religion shrines that his father, that his father Hezekiah had torn down, and he built altars and phallic images for the sex god Baal and sex goddess Asherah.
Okay, now we're clarifying. Now Eugene is clarifying that they are sex gods and goddesses.
Apparently.
Specifically,
They
it
get
wasn't
cooler and cooler every time we hear about them.
I'm not surprised that, basically 1 out of 10 kings decides, no, I'm not gonna worship them. And, the other 9 do. I mean,
1 out of 10
because
kings.
obviously.
Okay, I'm going to reframe this for you. 9 out of 10 kings get invited to parties.
9 out of 10 kings prefer the sex god Baal and the sex goddess
There you go.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
So I love that. So the sex god Christian Bale and the sex goddess Beyonce. Sounds amazing.
Which, yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Sign me up. Build those high
Yeah.
places.
Yeah, for sure. So he was all about it.
Okay.
He built altars in the house of Yahweh, of which Yahweh said, "In Jerusalem I will put my name."
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Good.
He built altars for all the host of the sky in the two courts of the house of Yahweh. He made
I
his...
see.
I'm sorry to
I
interrupt
see.
again.
Okay.
But this host of the sky thing is new. Normally
know
it's
what that
always
is.
Baal and Asherah, but this hosts of the sky, I don't feel like we've gotten that mentioned before. Usually it's Molech or
It was
the
mentioned.
usual cast of characters.
It's been mentioned once before that I remember, maybe 2 episodes ago, where it mentioned worshiping these other gods as well as worshiping the celestial bodies, is what
I
we
see.
learned when we
That
looked
makes
it up
sense.
last time. Like worshiping the sun and the moon, which they've kind
I
of
see,
mentioned
right.
before, but
Yeah,
they're using
David in
this
the chat is
phrase
pointing
here.
out the constellations. Makes sense.
Ah,
Right.
yes.
People love doing that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
But what's happening here, though, Em, is that
Astrology.
he's building these in Yahweh's palace,
Nope.
Yahweh's
Nope.
grounds, temple.
That's a big
place.
no-no.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope. Nope.
Yep.
Big
Nope.
no-no. He made his son to pass through the fire and practiced sorcery. He was a wizard, Harry, and used enchantments and dealt with those who had familiar spirits. And with wizards,
Oh, I am
Yes.
100% down for this king. Sign me up.
this is
Wow.
also like the boy wizard.
Oh,
He's
you're
like
right.
the boy.
Well, hold on. Do you think at
12-year-old
12 he started rebuilding the sex and religion shrines?
I don't know. I don't know.
Can I paint a picture for you
I'm
here?
uncomfortable with that.
So
Yeah.
Manasseh becomes king at 12. And all of the advisors and stuff come and they're like, King, we've recently discovered there were some wizards hiding out. What do you want us to do with them? And he's like, wait, there's what? There are wizards?
Did you say the word wizard?
Bring him here. Come on. I think that's what started him down the path. And then as he got a little older, he was like, because he lived 55 years, right?
The next thing you know,
Yeah.
these wizards taught him how to play Magic the Gathering and Dungeons and Dragons, and you know where that leads.
And yeah,
Yep.
it leads to
Sex
evil.
and religion shrines.
Sex and religion
Exactly.
is what it leads to. We all know that.
So, okay, he made his son to pass through the fire and practiced sorcery and used enchantments and dealt with all those who had familiar spirits and with wizards. He worked much evil in the sight of Yahweh to provoke him to anger. He set
Yeah.
the engraved image of Asherah that he had made in the house of which Yahweh said to David and to Solomon his son.
Boy, that's really got to piss off Yahweh. You put a
yeah,
statue
he's
of his
real
ex
mad.
up in there.
Yeah, he's like, I hate her. No. In this house and in Jerusalem, which I have chosen, out of all the tribes of Israel, I will put my name forever. Neither I will cause the feet of Israel to wander any more out of the land which I gave their fathers, if only they will observe to do according to all that I have commanded them, and according to all the law that my servant Moses commanded them.
Yeah.
But they didn't listen.
No.
No.
And Manasseh...
they're too busy having sex and playing Magic the Gathering.
They're doing fun stuff.
It's
But
like
they
my
didn't
dream
listen,
life.
And Manasseh seduced them to do that which is evil more than did the nations whom Yahweh destroyed before the children of Israel. Yahweh spoke by his servants the prophets, saying, because Manasseh, king of Judah, has done these abominations, and has done wickedly above all that the Amorites did who were before him, and has made Judah also to sin with his idols. Therefore, says Yahweh, the God of Israel, behold, I will bring such evil on Jerusalem and Judah that whoever hears of it, both his ears shall tingle.
Oh,
Tingly ears.
I know that's what happens to me whenever I hear about evil things.
Tingle.
It's been a rough year.
Yes.
It's weird. Okay, in the message it just says they'll shake their heads in disbelief, saying, I can't believe it.
That's not as fun.
A little different from having your ears be tingly.
Yeah. Wow.
I was stretched. Yes.
Someone in the chat, Samantha, was just suggesting maybe Ryan Reynolds could play, obviously, the older version of Manasseh, this king.
Do we think that he's enough of a role? I mean, he's
I thought he was
definitely
fun-
going to die by the end of this chapter, I'm sure, but is
Yeah.
it cool enough to justify a cameo?
That's true. Brady
Well,
points out that he's been cast
he was
as Detective Pikachu. But that's
Yeah.
Detective
He could be
Pikachu.
himself.
Now he's himself. So I think it's okay.
So the character Detective Pikachu.
No, Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu plays Balaam's donkey.
Yeah.
in our version of the film.
I think it's okay for
Ryan Reynolds as Ryan Reynolds can play something else.
Yeah, I think it's okay.
I think he
could.
I think he could be this.
I'm giving a lot of favoritism to Ryan Reynolds. He's a good guy.
2 bit parts.
Yeah, 2 small parts. So I think that's good. I think it works.
Okay. I will stretch over Jerusalem the line of Samaria and the plummet of the house of Ahab, and I will wipe Jerusalem as a man wipes a dish, wiping it and turning it upside down.
That's not where I thought you were going.
That's where we were going.
I will wipe it as a man wipes his butt.
No, a dish, wiping it and turning it upside down.
Okay.
I will cast off. Is this Yahweh who's talking?
This is okay. I'm still hung up on I'm still hung up on the dish thing, because when I think about like making a metaphor for how I'm going to obliterate a place, I don't think I'm going to do you like I do the dishes.
Okay, but what if you imagine that this is Dwayne The Rock Johnson playing Yahweh? And as we've established, he's usually kind of chilling on the couch or playing video games when his like phone rings and he's calling up people down on Earth to give them messages. In this case, he hears about this. He's like, that's, so he's like on the phone while he's washing dishes. He's like, I'm going to wipe him like a dish. I don't know. I'm going to turn it over and it's going to be wet and like dirty. I don't know.
See, I was thinking about it how I did the dishes the other day, where I did the dishes so hard that I broke the dishes and sliced open my thumb.
Yes.
And took out a chunk of my own flesh.
It sounds like something I'd do.
Neither myself nor the dish made it out looking real good in the end, although I'm here
that.
and the dish is not. So
that's what Yahweh is going to do.
There you go.
Okay.
I will cast off the remnant of my inheritance and deliver them into the hand of their enemies. And they shall become a prey and a spoil to all their enemies, because they have done that which is which is evil in my sight, and have provoked me to anger since the day their fathers came forth out of Egypt, even to this day.
Mm-hmm.
He is pissed.
Yeah.
Moreover, Manasseh shed innocent blood very much, until he had fled Jerusalem from one end to another, besides his sin with which he made Judah to sin in doing that which was evil in the sight of Yahweh. He shed innocent blood. I'm sorry to hear that.
I guess he just killed a bunch of people, according to whoever.
For those wizard rituals.
Yeah, I mean, he probably killed some babies. Innocent blood.
Yeah, that does make sense. He did make his own son pass through fire, which may or may not be sacrifice.
Is that what that? Yeah, I was going to ask, and then I was expecting Dedeker to yell at me, so I didn't ask. You don't remember this?
I mean, it's true, though, because we determined that means like either sacrifice to Molech or did some kind of ritual for Molech. That's what they're referring to when they're talking about making a son pass through the fire.
Didn't we also say that potentially they could have just like walked on fire? On
could also have been a Tony Robbins kind of weekend retreat, walking on hot coals as a ritual, like a symbolic gesture, as opposed to actually killing your own son in the fire.
All your dreams will come true if you walk on these coals. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the rest of the acts of Manasseh and all that he did and his sin that he sinned, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah? Manasseh slept with his fathers. Okay, he's dead now. And was buried in the garden of his own house, in the garden of Uzzah. And Ammon, his son, reigned in his place. Ammon was 22 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 2 years.
Okay,
Dang.
it's more like it. Ammon. This is more the usual pace, every 2 years.
Yeah. 2 years in Jerusalem, and his mother's name was Mesulameth, the daughter of Haruz of Jotbah.
Boy, Emily.
I don't know what I said.
Boy, Emily.
Yeah,
speaking in tongues over there.
Yeah, just look it up and you can decipher it for yourself.
Meshulameth, the daughter of Haruz of Jotbah.
Jotbah.
Yeah,
he did that, which was evil in the sight of Yahweh, of course, as did Manasseh, his father. He walked in all the way that his father walked in and served the idols that his father served and worshipped them, and he forsook Yahweh, the God of his fathers, and didn't walk in the way of Yahweh. The servants of Ammon conspired against him and put the king to death in his own house.
But the people... That's happened before.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. They rose up against him. But the people of the land killed all those who had conspired against King Ammon, and the people of the land made Josiah, his son, king in his place. Now the rest of the acts of Ammon, which he did, aren't they written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Judah?
Yeah.
He was buried in his tomb in the garden of Uzzah, and Josiah, his son, reigned in his place.
Okay.
That's it.
And
Great.
that's it. Wow. Here we go with last chapter of today, chapter 22. Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign. Holy
baby boy.
moly. And he
The other
reigned...
guy was 8, right?
No, he was 12.
Oh, no, he was 12. You're right.
Josiah
Boy.
was 8 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jedidah, the daughter of Adiah of Bozkath. He did that which was, survey says, right in the eyes of Yahweh.
Yeah.
Yay!
Hey.
That's a lot of right kings in one episode.
That's true.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
He did that which was right in the eyes of Yahweh, and walked in all the ways of David his father, and didn't turn aside to the right hand or to the left. It happened in the 18th year of King Josiah that the king sent Shaphan, the son of Azaliah, son of Azaliah, yeah. Azaliah, probably. Anyway, the son of Azaliah, the son of Meshullam, the scribe, to the house of Yahweh, saying, "Go up to Hilkiah the high priest, that he may sum the money which is brought into the house of Yahweh."
Oh, we're back to this whole checking on how much money the temple's bringing in.
Yeah. Which
Very
the
important.
keepers of the threshold have gathered of the people. So they've still got those like guards in place who put the money into those chests, I guess. "And let them deliver it into the hand of the workmen who have the oversight of the house of Yahweh, and let them give it to the workmen who are in the house of Yahweh to repair the breaches of the house, to the carpenters, and to the builders, and to the masons, and for buying timber and hewn stone to repair the house. However, there was no reckoning made with them of the money that was delivered into their hand. Maybe that's a good thing, because then it says, for they dealt faithfully."
Oh.
No reckoning. Oh, so as in like they didn't have to double check it?
Or they did
didn't have
check it
to-
and it was a-okay, so...
So they didn't get audited, is what we're
I guess
saying.
so.
Maybe
Right,
they
okay.
got audited, but it
Okay.
didn't result in anything bad.
Right,
Yes.
no fines. Yeah, okay.
Cool. Okay.
Hilkiah, the high priest, said to Shaphan, the scribe, "I have found the book of the law in the house of Yahweh." Hilkiah delivered the book to Shaphan, and he read it. Shaphan, the scribe, came to the king and brought the king word again and said, "Your servants have emptied out the money that was found in the house and have delivered it into the hand of the workmen who have the oversight of the house of Yahweh."
Uh-oh.
I think that's good. I think that's what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what was supposed to happen. Wait, I'm
Okay.
confused though with this book of the law and
Yeah.
Shaphan reading it. What's going on there?
Let me see what the message says about this. This is verse
David
8
in the
here.
chat says this book is Deuteronomy. Is that the book that
If
they're
David
talking
in the
about?
chat is to be believed,
Then they're
Oh.
looking at
Deut-
Deuters.
They've
it's
found the book of Deuters.
Deuteronomical law that they have found, which I didn't realize was lost.
Deuteronomical law.
Someone was like, "Who put this in the janitor's closet?" My God.
Whoa, look at this book.
Yeah, the message
Pretty
says,
cool.
the high priest Hilkiah reported to Shaphan, the royal secretary, "I've just found the book of God's revelation instructing us in God's ways. I found it in the temple." He gave it to Shaphan, and Shaphan read it.
No, hold on. No wonder everything's
Cool.
going all screwy for these people.
We've lost
because
this
they
book all
lost
this
the laws. They lost the rules.
Okay, got it. Now it makes sense.
We knew, but they didn't.
Now it makes sense why
Huh.
there's so many wicked kings. Yeah,
It'd be nice if, like, in this book, they told us that that was like part of the story that
right.
they lost this
yeah.
book and no one knew where it was.
Yeah. Shaphan the scribe told the king, saying, "Hilkiah the priest has delivered me a book." Shaphan read it before the king. Well, they did story time. He read him the stories. It happened, when the king had heard the words of the book of the law, that he tore his clothes. The
She's
king.
like, God, that was a slog to get through.
I hated it. So boring.
I think this is where
what if
he's
Shaphan
realizing.
was getting drunk while he was reading it to the king?
Maybe then
that'd
he
be
would have had a
good,
better
yeah.
time.
Yeah, that's true. The king commanded Hilkiah the priest and Ahikam the son of Shaphan and Achbor the son of Micaiah and Shaphan the scribe, and Isiah the king's servant, saying, Go you, inquire of Yahweh for me. Who is this guy? Inquire of Yahweh for me and for the people and for all Judah concerning the words of this book that is found. For great is the wrath of Yahweh that is kindled against us.
Yeah.
Because our fathers have not listened to the words in this book, to do according to all that which is written concerning us. They really did just lose this entirely. No one's known. Wow. Okay.
Well, but I don't know how the law is in other countries, but the way it is here in these old United States is that not knowing about the law is not enough of an excuse to pardon you from breaking the law.
That's true.
That's not going to hold up in small claims court or traffic court, let me tell you.
Okay, or Judge Judy.
Uh-huh.
So, Hilkiah the priest and Ahikam and Achbor and Shaphan and Isiah went to Huldah the prophetess. The wife, a named female character. Can you believe it? Went to Huldah the prophetess, the wife of Shallum, the son of Tikva, the son of Harhas, keeper of the wardrobe.
Keeper of the wardrobe.
Now, is this the wardrobe?
Whose wardrobe? The king's wardrobe?
Yeah, is it the king's wardrobe or is this the wardrobe
All
that goes to the
wardrobe.
Chronicles of Narnia?
Ooh.
Oh.
What?
What?
The wardrobe
that
of
wardrobe.
lion
Like the
and
lion.
witch
I see.
fame.
Thank you. Lions.
Yes.
Lions.
Yes, lions, witches, and wardrobes. Parentheses. Now, she lived in Jerusalem in the second quarter. End parentheses. Do not care. And
What
they talked
quarter?
with
What?
her. And they talked with her. She said to them, Thus says Yahweh, the God of Israel, tell you the man who sent you to me. Thus says Yahweh. You didn't need to include that part. You could have just started from the part he told you to say. Okay, whatever. Thus says Yahweh, Behold, I will bring evil on this place and on the inhabitants of it, even
I will
all
bring
the
evil
words,
on this place.
even all the words of the book which the king of Judah has read, because they have forsaken me and have burned incense to other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with all the work of their hands. Therefore, my wrath shall be kindled against this place, and it shall not be quenched.
Is this God talking? Who's talking?
Yahweh. This is the rock
Okay.
talking
Through-
Is it
Yeah, the
through the
rock.
prophetess?
through Huldah the prophetess. Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes. It shall not be quenched. But to the king of Judah.
Huldah put on her best Dwayne The Rock Johnson
Yes,
voice.
of course.
Shall
of
not
course.
be
Yeah.
quenched. Raw.
But to the king of Judah, who sent you to inquire of Yahweh, thus you shall tell him. Thus says Yahweh. Wait, so.
Huh?
Okay, if I'm
Are
understanding
these
this
different
correctly.
messages? Is one message to the king of Israel and the other one to the king of Judah? Is that what's going on?
No, so the first one said that, so she said to them, Thus says Yahweh, tell you the man who sent you to me.
Can you read the message?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
That's probably for the best. Okay. She lived in the second quarter. Yes. The 5 men consulted with her. In response, tell the man who sent you here that I'm on my way to bring doom, judgment, yada, yada, yada.
Whoa.
And then it says, and also tell the king of Judah, since he sent you to ask for God's direction, tell him this. So that's what we're about to get to is
Okay.
the message seems to think it's like, here's what he's saying, and also tell the king this. But the way it reads in the World English Bible is like, tell the messengers this, but tell the king this other thing.
This other thing, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe. But to the king of Judah, who sent you to inquire of Yahweh, thus shall you tell him, Thus says Yahweh, the God of Israel, :
Oh my God.
as touching as the words which you have heard, because your heart was tender, and you did humble yourself before Yahweh, when you heard what I spoke against this place, and against the inhabitants of it, that they should become a desolation and a curse, and have torn your clothes and wept before me, I also have heard you, says Yahweh. Therefore, behold, I will gather you to your fathers, and you shall be gathered to your grave in peace. Neither shall your eyes see all the evil which I will bring on this place. They brought the king word again. The end of the chapter.
Oh,
What?
good.
Oh,
Great.
bye.
I feel like we kind of ran out of steam there at the end.
I don't know. What happened?
But we found Deuteronomy maybe, or possibly the entire Torah. It's unclear.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Well, we found the law.
Yeah.
Check.
We found the law, yes. Hidden
Yes.
away in
Okay.
Done.
the janitor's closet in the temple.
In the temple, yes. Check. Found the law. And
I
the king is
definitely
like, oh, crap.
Yep.
You haven't been
out.
following this whole time. No wonder Yahweh's so mad. And
Thank you.
Yahweh's message is, it's okay. You're going to die in peace.
No,
will
Yahweh's
hold it
message
against you.
is, I shall not be quenched. I will freaking destroy all of you. But because you were like so sweet about asking, I'm going to let you die in peace first, and then I'm going to mess everything
Okay.
up. I think that's...
That's kind of the best you can hope for with Yahweh, honestly.
Can you imagine being Yahweh and having such absolute power and just like going one way or the other and just being like, I'm gonna kind of hurt these guys, but actually I kind of like them. They're cute. But these
like-
other guys over here, oh,
Just like a petulant child with
he definitely
ultimate
is.
power.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Boy, well, I mean, I would say this episode was not as action-packed as last week.
I
But
mean,
we
we got
did-
wizards.
we did have
got
wizards.
Did get wizards.
And sex gods and sex goddesses, so that was cool.
Oh, God. The Bible could have been so cool.
It's
It
fairly.
could have been so cool. Can
I
you
mean,
imagine?
What?
Like,
How cool?
just this
Cool
little
in
bit
what
of
way?
like of this cultural quote unquote warfare where we're torn between monotheism and polytheism.
Uh-huh.
And what if that alternate timeline where polytheism won out and freaking sex and religion
didn't,
shrines were the order of the day, and that was very normal to us? What a world. What
Yeah.
a world that would be if
Yeah,
that became
imagine
the
that.
dominant religion.
That alternate world where, like, on our currency it says in sex god Baal or sex goddess Asherah or any of the others we trust. Wouldn't that be something?
In Asherah, we trust. I love it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Oh my goodness, it's written on all your like condom wrappers and stuff.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
In Asherah we trust. I love it.
What a world. Somebody out there who writes speculative fiction, go write that speculative fiction. I want to see it. I want to
Wow.
read it.
I wonder if like the whole world would have been way better.
Better for who?
I don't know.
It's
People
that's-
who want to have sex. It would be better for people who want to have sex,
Isn't
Okay.
that
which is a lot of
most?
people.
It's a lot of
many?
people. It's a
Not
lot
everybody. It's a
Not
lot
everybody.
of people.
Not everyone, but
Yeah.
many.
Yeah. I mean, maybe it would be worse for babies who might get passed through fire. That's unclear.
Well, but
So-
you know, religion adapts and changes, and so
Okay, yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to think of some parallels of the ways that Christianity's gotten quote unquote better. I mean, stuff adapts and changes. I mean, in 1969 in the Mormon Church, apparently God changed his mind about black people. You know,
Right, that's
stuff
true.
can shift and change.
Yeah, God's changed his mind
Emily's
before.
face. Emily looks so
I believe
horrified.
you are talking about the Book of Mormon when they said that.
Yes.
Well,
That was a
something like
literal
that,
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But not just a line, not quoting a line. I'm talking about something that actually happened.
No, I know. Yeah.
Well, it's funny though because Emily, you said "I believe," and that's the title of the song in which that line
Yes.
appears. I wasn't sure if
Yes.
that was on purpose or not.
You auditioned for that show like a gajillion times.
Just once, actually.
Let's sit
but-
here and talk about
Oh.
Jace's failed auditions. That'll be a good
No,
conversation.
I was saying like because he'd be like perfect for it. Anyways,
yeah, boy.
okay.
Anyway,
Anyway, I'm just saying, somebody out there, write that alternate universe story. I'll read it. Jace, keep on auditioning. Don't give up.
thank you.
And we're so glad that all of you joined us for Bible study today. Let me quickly pull up the ending copy here.
Just like do it from memory. Can you imagine? Don't do that.
Maybe
Please
I could. It would be a little rough, though.
How
Okay,
many-
let me try
if you
that.
want
again.
How many times have we done it?
Some other stuff, then go to drunkbiblestudy.com/Patreon/good luck.
Let me try this again.
Josh and Anna, the end.
Thank you all for joining us for Bible study today. If you want even more Drunk Bible Study, including ad-free episodes, early releases, personal toasts on the show, and more, become one of our patrons at patreon.com/drunkbiblestudy. If you enjoy the show, take a moment to subscribe and then write us a nice review on iTunes or Stitcher, letting other people know what you like about it. You can also join fellow listeners in the Drunk Bible Study Fans and Fellowship Facebook group. Find us on Twitter at Drunk Biblecast, on Instagram at Drunk Bible Study, or send us an email to info@drunkbiblestudy.com. Drunk Bible Study is created and produced by Jace Lindgren, Emily Matlack, and me, Dedeker Winston. Our theme song is Book Club by Josh and Anand from their album Home of the. The theme song for 2 Kings is Gotham by Avatar. For more information, visit us at drunkbiblestudy.com.
I made a memory about your dad.